Hello, the old parson here. I wanted to tell you, much to my happiness, I found my Geneva collar. They call it a Geneva collar. There's a lot of names. People have asked me, what does that mean? Well, I used it as my little logo symbol because I thought it was very distinctive. And after a while, every once in a while I do wear this collar. What is it all about? Well, the whole evolution of the clerical collar is rather fascinating. It all hinges with men's fashions, really. It just mimicked men's fashions down through the ages. In the ancient times, in late middle 19th century, 17th century, you wore over your shirt, which never had a collar, some sort of a sash around your neck. You wrapped it around your neck, and you had two ends, so you made like a fancy little bow. There you go. That's part of it. Sometimes in colonial times, you'd see them with a big ruff, and so the cloth had ruff on it that you wrapped around. And so all of that kind of is the evolution of this collar. For clergy, the collar that we see, which is the traditional Roman collar, we call it a Roman collar, is the great big white one that goes all the way around your neck, was actually developed by a Presbyterian around 1840. And so Protestant clergy prior to that would wear a black coat, a black pants, a white shirt that was buttoned up the necks with a little tie, like a little black tie with strings. And that was basically the clerical collar, clerical attire. But that changed around 1850 to become pretty much what we see today. This particular collar, which is sometimes referred to as a French collar, they call it a Geneva collar because the French in Geneva wore this, basically was adopted by Protestants. And so by the mid-19th century, most German clergy, Protestant clergy, would wear this, also Presbyterians, but it's all sort of very Catholic. In France, really up until really Vatican II, many French clergy would wear this type of a collar with their cassock, and it would really only be worn with a cassock. You'd wear it with a cassock. And the idea of this, you ever saw a picture of John Vianney or some of the French divines, they always had this type of a cassock, this collar on. Sometimes it was solid black, but it was just outlined in white. But this, again, is a very Catholic collar, French collar, going back to the days when you tied the thing up and around your neck and you had two ends to deal with. And so these were the two ends. But it's stylized now. The last part of the evolution of the collar would be the little tab collar. I never liked those tab collars. I think in my entire life I had one tab shirt and I never wore it. If I'm in a suit, I prefer to wear what's known as the Roman collar, which is the big round collar. I prefer to wear that. Simply just based on style. There's no rightness or wrongness of it. It's simply the style. This is considered a very old-fashioned collar, which I like, kind of appeals to me. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you so that if you have any questions, you know what it is. Au revoir. That's my little French.